What's up, guys? So before I start the video, I do want to give a big shout out to Turbo SII. They provided us with these headlights, and these things are awesome. So right here is your low beams, your high beams, and then there's two marker lights in there. I think these are awesome. They look super cool. I've also seen like this style on like a bunch of military equipment, and that's kind of why I wanted to run it. They're blacked out housings, you know, so it kind of gives it that stealth look, but all around, I think this thing is awesome. That's the reason I went with these headlights. They look so much better and they're super freaking bright. Here are the headlights I'm taking out. This one has a pretty good size chunk out of it and it's cracked all the way around it. This one's actually in pretty good shape. But the real kicker is when you try to use the highs. So you turn on your headlights just like that, and then you pull your stock to do your brights, and I have nothing. There is no bright beams. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is that chunk that's missing out of it. It looks like it was from a rock. Must have been a pretty good sized rock, because that's a good sized hole. Anyway, so I'm popping these out, and then I got these headlights. So these ones right here, these are the ones I'm gonna be putting in. Let's pull this box out. This is the sponsor that donated the headlights. Go check out their website, I'll link it down below, but they have a ton of different Jeep style headlights. But they don't just fit in Jeeps, they fit in, you know, Hummers and anything with the 7-inch. So here we go, we're opening it up. And I've opened up this one a couple times just to check them out, but it comes with all the instructions, and then there they are. Pull that off so you can see it. Those are gonna look super sick. So it comes with all the wiring and adapters and connectors and everything that you need, but that is gonna look so good. I'm really excited. That. We will get started. First thing you gotta do is pop your hood open. Next thing we're gonna do is find the correct size Torx bit. So this little ring around the headlight, that's what we're gonna be pulling out first. So there's one at each of the top of the corners and then one at the bottom. So for the record, I've never done this before. I'm just kind of going off what I see. So the next thing you gotta do is you gotta pull these screws out. There are a total of 4 of them. They're just the little ones with the metal tabs. There we go. I already pulled this one, and I lost one of the screws down there. Now that I got all those screws out, this comes out. This is just the bezel that holds the light on there. This bezel just comes off. We'll set it right next with the other one. And then the whole light assembly kind of just pulls out. So I disconnected the wires. And honestly, I never noticed this. It looks like the guy had a HDMI setup, which I am not going to be running because these are LEDs. So hopefully he didn't mess up any of the wiring too bad. So I just realized in my last clip I may have said HDMI, but these are HID headlights. This setup requires a ballast and you know, converters and stuff, but it looks like he didn't mess up any of the wiring. It just plugs into the old style wiring. So that is what I got to do too. So I was checking through the wiring and stuff, and I was really confused because there was extra wires, but it is a just direct plug-in. This extra little wire is for the marker lights. So those you can either set up to run as your blinkers, or you could just run an auxiliary power wire. What I'm eventually going to do is set those up for my markers so that when my marker lights are on, those are on, and then they also would be on at the same time as your blinkers. So since it's such a simple plug and play, the only thing I need to do is to put this ring around it and then screw it into there. Also, when you're doing this at home, just remember that because all these little tabs are spaced out differently, the very bottom is marked by this little connection where it all kind of connects. So if you just figure out where the very bottom of your headlight that you want it to be, and then you just put it on. I just put that seam right at the very bottom, right next to the bottom bolt. And then we are gonna put these in and show you what they look like. Now that I got all these screws put back in, we can go ahead and slap the bezel back on, and we are good to go. Man, that looks good. That looks so much better than this old school style. I know these are aftermarket, but these are just gonna be such a big upgrade. Here, let me show you guys what they look like when they're on. That looks so freaking cool. I know it's like daylight now. Those are awesome. Yeah, those look really good. So it's been a while since I worked on my Jeep. I had to go run some errands and stuff, and so I've been just rocking one headlight. So it's super cold outside. I'm just getting ready for work. I'm gonna go throw in this other headlight. It doesn't take very long. So I just wanted to finish up this video for you guys and show you kind of how simple it is. I don't know how well I described it before, but I'll go ahead and explain it all again. So the first thing you need is some coffee. Second thing you need is a screwdriver with a T15. So I do have the Jeep running because it is super cold, but I haven't replaced this one yet. First thing you gotta do is just take your T15 and pull out that screw right there, and that screw up there. Once you take those out, this ring just kind of pops right out. So you gotta pull all those, and then this whole assembly just comes right out. So once you get all 4 of those screws pulled out, this whole thing just comes out and the ring is separate. So once the ring's separate, you can go ahead and set it on top of your light. Once you get all those screws put back in, you can go ahead and put your ring back on, and then you can call it a day. You pop those screws in and it looks just as good as the other one. God, these things look good. So here they are. They look freaking awesome. So the headlights turned out freaking awesome. I love the way that they look. You may have noticed the little bar at the top and the bottom of the headlights. That is actually a marker light, and you can hook it up to your blinkers and everything. That's the next thing I'm gonna do. It comes with a little wire so that you can integrate it right in there, or you could run it as an auxiliary, so if you wanted to just have it on a switch, and they would be more just marker lights. They look freaking awesome when those are connected too, so I don't know. I'm super stoked. These headlights look freaking awesome. It really didn't take very long at all, especially once I got going. The only thing you really need is that T15 screwdriver. That's really it. Everything else plugs and plays, just pops out really easy. You don't need to do any splicing. It's super, super simple. So don't let this be intimidating. I also want to give one more big shout out to Turbo SII. They really hooked it up on these headlights. They look freaking awesome. And just to let everybody know, they are DOT legal, so you can run them on the roads. There are a lot of brands out there that aren't DOT legal, so if you got pulled over with them, they wouldn't, you could get in pretty big trouble. Also, you guys may be wondering why there is an air compressor back there and why my hands have all this black shit all over them. The black stuff is from Rhino lining. I had to borrow the air compressor from work. That's because we were doing some Raptor lining on my buddy's Jeep. We were doing his fenders. They turned out freaking awesome. I didn't get a chance to video any of that, but when I do the Raptor lining on the interior of this, I will definitely show you guys all the steps and processes of all that, just because I think it's something that's kind of interesting, and it's a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just a little more complex and a little bit more difficult to spray, but turns out it's super simple, and the product at the very end of it turned out freaking awesome. I'll bring you along for that once I end up doing it for this Jeep. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to go check out Turbo SII. They hooked it up on the headlights. They look fucking awesome. And I'll be doing a review here shortly of just how they hold up and how they look and everything, and how bright they are. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.